Sagittarius, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's do this. What is it that 2022 tells me about you in your life? It means very, very little to you what other people are doing. I think there is a lot happening around you and also for you, but you don't really like that stuff. It's like you are not twisting yourself around anymore to fit anybody else's joy. And that's very, very nice and handy for all of us to see. So we don't actually want the teacher of teachers, Sagittarius, to be taught anything they don't want to even listen to or learn from. So this is something very, very good for you guys to upstand, stay with. And it's very, very good to no longer try to force other people to be with you on a level that you don't like. So for example, you now understand that your partner is just a friend. You don't really want to be part of that team, or you don't really like that job, or you don't really like how that guy looks at you, you don't really want to visit that football stadium anymore. There are things that are going to be very nice and good enough. So sometimes it is about having a nice, friendly, laid-back perspective. South Node has just gone through your first house. We also have Gemini with a very, very similar view and vision. There is just a nice mellowing that needs to happen now, so you don't overwork it, you don't feel hysterical about yourself or your life, you don't spit at people, when you don't like their opinions, you stop listening to the TV, and you start getting yourself straight and narrow. Yoga, exercise, Pilates. There is a Russian invention called pravilo, so it's kind of like a special thing. You basically get tied up. You get tied up, and it stretches out your limbs and helps your body get that nice perfect shape. And also there is a thing for the head. It's kind of like a noose, and when you hang off it, it basically aligns your whole spine. So there are lots of things like this. If you want, you can go to a teacher, you can go to a yoga studio. Ashtanga yoga, fantastic, really did it for me. Hatha yoga is good too. Just have a look at how you can align yourself. It's very, very difficult to come back together after a south node through your sign. It's not very easy for most people. It sort of smudges you a little bit, and it kind of smudges out what you were before or who you are inside. So for some people it also means health concerns and risks. Maybe there is an increased hereditary disease, risk of hereditary disease, like heart issues, like lung issues, everything like that, obviously. And also for some people, there's going to be no more of some stuff. So it's I had it so planned out, I had it so beautiful in my head, and now it's, it looks like there's no more. It's kind of like that shop is closed down, and these people don't exist anymore. So there is a certain type of non-existence of something that you were kind of counting on. But you kind of had it heavy in your heart, oh gosh, I want this to be in my life, and now it's not, and now it's not going to be. So there is something about it all that can be maybe forever smudged unless you come to a really nice center point and just understand what your South Node visitation was about. And maybe it is about being forever yours. Maybe it is about being a really good father or being a really, really nice mom. Maybe it's about being a very, very zesty person that everybody gets to see. Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's just about who you are. Maybe it's about your humble truths and the way that you spend your own time. Maybe you like to read, maybe you like to write, maybe you like to work things out in your head, and that's totally fine. So the way that I see it for you guys is that you just have to basically come to a really nice medium length sort of a feeling about who you are and where you are right now, and stop arguing and trying to push yourself to get any further. So the best thing you can do is alkaline diet, alkalize your life, spray some beautiful antibacterial stuff in your room, cleanse your stomach, cleanse your bedding, make sure there's no bed bugs in your bed, So make sure that you don't have any structures or systems in your life that you don't want to follow. It's sometimes hard for a Sagittarian person, but just seriously, clean your room. There is a lot of us that don't really know how to do things with you because there is almost no attachment. It's almost nowhere to plug in. We don't even know what's going on. It's so messy over there. If you've been completely smudged by the last couple of years, it's very, very hard to get to know you. Even if there is something you're providing that is very strong and very obvious, you just have to provide, even if you're tired of it. So this is the best way to do it. You have a talent, you have a vision, you have a choice. Make it easy for people to get in touch with you. So stop hiding yourself. Okay, so now you know who you are. And the thing is basically to come out of the woodwork. It's like, hey guys, I just want to tell you, I'm going to come out about this. I'm doing this now. Okay, so this is my thing. And hey guys, so I just want to tell you what I'm doing. And if you want to see me, you can see me here. Or like, this is the school I'm teaching in, or this is the art that I'm proud to have made, or this is how I'm making it big in the world these days for me. And this is a wonderful thing about you. If it's big for you, who cares what it is to anybody else? That's really healthy. And usually will love you for it. So this is the thing. Somebody really, really has to go through things with you here. And that's hard. You know, so maybe you are kind of like a little bit like me, getting a little bit tired or bored of what you've been doing with people, but you got to stick around. You got to stick around. You got to stay there. You got to freaking lead some people through. So for example, you're a nurse and you were tired. Gosh, god damn it, you were tired. But you got to stick around. So you got to stick at your job and lead some people through, even if it means, you know, sometimes saying the bad things like, gosh, that person was annoying. Even if it means having a sad day sometimes, because by doing you, as you are humble and caring and creative as well, we get to see ourselves more than ever. And one of the reasons is because you are over it. If you are over it, you're tired, you don't really want to do anything, you are so sleepy, you're like, okay, look, I'm driving you to school and then I'm going to go to sleep. You're still the best dad. So this is the thing, there is something or somebody in you that is just helpful. And that is really, really nothing but a miracle to me. So that's happening now, you know, and also I'm feeling it in my system and other people's with Sagittarian aspects. Like we just like kind of like humbled by what we've done, you know. So this is not about like, hey guys, I'm an artist. I just want to tell you what art is to me. Like this is not where you were like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. This is like, okay, I'm sorry, like I'm speaking. Oh yeah, this is my voice. Okay. I'm going to tell you about the history of art from the 17th century on. So anyway, so here we go. So like this is why we love you. This is why I love it here sometimes as well. It's like something takes over you. You just basically channel whatever you got to do. You know, it's like if you're a nurse, if you're minding children, if you're doing anything, if you, I don't know, sewing, cooking, knitting, it's just you, oh gosh, you know, I'm so tired. And the heart is sore. The heart, there is a soreness in the heart that can happen for many of us, and the reason is because we're just so over our own minds. You know, it's like I took such a long time making this, and wow, now it's in the center being exhibited, but oh my, I'm so bored. It's like I took ages painting this painting, but oh my gosh, it was so boring to paint, you know. So like maybe there is something about you that is also kind of like strung along like that with other people, like, oh gosh, you know, it's another client, wow, okay. There are some people that don't want you to be there though, and that is for a really, really, really good reasons, because we want you to actually sing out, stand out, be somebody different, be somebody new, be somebody for the future, you know, be somebody for yourself. And that makes a lot of sense only at the end of the year. So there is something that you might be helpful with for a while, and after a fair few months of it, you might just give up, or might just start regretting it and just saying, why, I don't want it. And then suddenly, a happy little slate takes you back or forward, most likely back to something that you've done that you really enjoyed, and you didn't have to do that heavy stuff anyway. So a lot of you guys, I feel, are going to go through some karma, like, okay, I had to do the degree, and then I became a specialist, and now I'm still that specialist, and gosh, it hurts me, but here we go. And then underneath, something brews, and maybe somebody in your life, in your family, somebody just says, hey, guess what, I get you, let's go have fun. How about we go to the beach and get some ice cream? Like, remember when you were 5 years old, you used to love that. Like when you were 3, serious, like you used to love like playing with like little cubes and blocks and making little castles. Why don't we just like get you, I don't know, a little architecture degree? There is something about you that is screaming for now to be over, and that is a very, very big sign of maybe mental or physical fatigue for some Sagittarians. But also not just this, it's like, I get it, I'm caring, I got it, okay, fine, I did all of this and I got to this status in life, or I've made myself into this, but actually underneath it all, there are people that I've never really had the chance to be, you know, and they are here, they are there, so they are not made up personalities. They are not futures of you in a way. They are past, present tense. So maybe in your 5th year, in your 20th year, in your 30th year, in your 15th year, in your 12th year, you really just wish to be somebody else, and that person never worked out. So maybe after all, you can have that career that is completely different to what you're doing now. So it's not just career, it's like a way of life. It's like a passage, because all you're doing is walking here. Hey guys, I'm Sag, I'm walking here. And that's a fantastic, fabulous thing. It's a fantastic, fabulous drive. But we've got to make sure that you are having as much fun and passion and also nonsense and noisiness and love and laughter as you wish. So the way that I'm seeing it is, wow, okay, how to do it this year for you guys is hard. So a lot of it is just about following the route. You've done it, okay, maybe you've done your degree, or you're studying good, or you're doing good in your career, okay. So it's kind of a structure that you have to sort of mellow out with and keep. And I know a lot of it is kind of strange and troublesome, and maybe you don't even like me or other people for staying there, just plodding. But there is something else there that you can do. So it's like, sure, I will still show up at my work. Sure, I will still take as many clients as I can. But hey, guess what? It's Sunday and I'm going to go party. Or like, I'm going to just eat this huge block of ice cream at the beach and I'm going to have a fun time. I'm going to fill my belly with soda. That's okay. It's not bad. But, it works for some people. It's just like sometimes it's like having that fun day. And I know it's not all bad, but sometimes it's also important to see where you relax. It's like, okay, soda, ice cream every day is not going to be so good, but if you have some kind of a friend, or you have some kind of a relative, or some kind of a person, or some kind of group somewhere, and which you can just dissolve. Like me and my friends, you know what we do? We watch Marvel movies. We like those movies. Or we like, I don't know, me and my friends, we paint each other toenails. Or we like going out somewhere. We like going to the mountains. We like mountain biking or something. You and your bunch of friends, or that one person, just something, somebody that can help you not feel so stern. But why it's important that it's nice is because, I don't know, it's like there are lazy parts to you showing, especially when you are so efficient and epic at being who you are, as you would be masterful in this type of year, for some at least. Is just feeling to me that there is a very nice knowing time to define what you do and do not do, and also how you live. Because sometimes when we let go, and this shows in Western society like nowhere else in the world, we let go, we really let go. So sometimes people go crazy. Like sometimes people get really crazy. Like, for example, people make the wrong moves. They make money, they spend all their money in one day. They take drugs, like they get real by getting really stroppy and angry. People do crazy stuff, like they cheat, like they lie, and that is what sometimes taking the stress off is for a lot of people, but they never talk about this. So when we have that part of you shine, if you're one of those people that has kind of like a secret, almost like an evil twin inside of you that will do just some crazy stuff, it's very, very important to be polite to that part of your personality and consider how you can do things that are better next time, because you don't want to destroy anything that you are now part of. So one part of you might be wanting to destroy the world that you yourself are winning at, actually, even though it's a little boring and tight on you. There needs to be a really, really nice human, maybe, or a person or someone that can help you work things out, even though you might not really want them to participate, because it seems like you're very, 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 very efficient on your own in this particular type of year. So it's really, really hard to get to know you sometimes, but let someone else help you out. If you can't lift things, if you don't know, if you spin out and you just want to get crazy, or you want to suddenly get pregnant to a random person, or you want to skip school, or you want to, I don't know, skip along and do something weird. If you want to do something very weird, it is very nice to have a guide. just to make sure, okay, like, listen, just take care of my credit card because I have no idea what's going on, or like, okay, hold my hair back, I go to puke. You know, like sometimes people have to be there to basically help you not drive yourself to extremes. And also, if you can, be there for that part of your nature that is like hopping along and doesn't even care. And even though you are there for other people, still supporting parts of the system that still kind of exists, you are making friends maybe on the wrong side. Or there is something about you that is corruptible or corrupting to another person. So sometimes the friendliest, lovingest, best friend Sagittarius can be also the creepiest person in the group, and that doesn't happen for no reason. And the reason why it happens because you're so amazing at something that you're doing, and you're so invited and you're so seen. So it's very, very incredible not to have that sadness in your heart later, so not to have that bad worry, bad story. And the reason why this happens sometimes to me, to other people, Sagittarian aspects, is we don't know what else to do. We're like, wow, like, great, I win again. People think I'm great, but oh my god, look, I have like a mental disease. I think I have a mental disease. I'm like saying things that I don't even mean. I don't even know. I don't even like myself. I don't know what's going on. I gotta do something crazy. Facebook. This is one thing that I love. Facebook. It's like a vice, you know? So like this is the thing that sometimes other people don't see in you, is that you don't really have it all. We have to have that person for the hard times, because there's a lot of stuff in the heart that you might not see yet, but it is inside. So maybe you need someone to give you unconditional love and big kisses and cuddles. Maybe you need a cat to cuddle you every night. Maybe you need a friend to make you dinner. Maybe you need a soup in bed sometimes. Maybe you need a back rub. So when you have that off day, you've got to know what you're going to do. So for example, okay, what are good things for me? Massage, okay, like getting my nails done, I don't know, having a haircut, okay, having some kind of exercise or therapy, doing Pilates, fantastic. Anything for your core, for your body, you know, to get like really square and strong, fantastic. Okay, I have issues in my gut, okay, maybe every single day I can do something for that. You know, maybe I can take a certain type of ointment. Maybe I can take a certain type of, I don't know, grapeseed oil or something like that. I can maybe take care of my pets. I can take care of my plants. What are the different ways that I can safely encourage my growth in another direction? Also, this is interesting. You might not be available for it at the point of now, but you could be really awesome at something you don't even like being awesome at. For example, underneath your executive job and everything going so well and good, and you having exactly what you need and exactly the same time as you need it, you also have another part of you growing inside. Maybe you really want to be like a monk. Maybe you are like following Buddhism and you'll never tell anybody, and you'll never do anything about it, but there is a part of you that knows how to connect to that consciousness. And maybe that's all it is. Maybe you are monk by night, executive by day, vice versa. There is something about you that is happening underneath or inside or outside of the territory. There's nobody that knows about it as well. Sometimes it's more happening if nobody knows. And even if it is kind of like a dirty secret, like I don't want anybody to know that I'm like sitting there with my beads praying all night, every night, even though my family's Christian or like, I don't know, Muslim or something like that. I have nothing but this. And now this is getting really, really nice. When a Sagittarius doesn't want anyone to know about something they're thinking about, thinking of, I don't know, it gets like kind of like romantic for everybody else to know them, because it's like, Sag, you're hiding a thing. And Sag is like, yes, I am, good sir, I am. But just never mind, on with the day. Giddy up. You know, that's really sexy, and that's really, really hard for people to notice unless you actually have something going on that is going to somehow help you manifest it. Maybe you need a certain school for monks. There are certain things like that happening in the West as well. Maybe you need to go somewhere. Maybe you need to be on a Skype call with somebody from that sect, that group that can help you. Or maybe you just need to visit a center or have somebody come to your house. There is a very interesting way in which in secrecy, you are reborn. So maybe nobody knows about this, especially if you don't want anybody to know. And then at the end of the story, come December's end, 2022, you are it. Like somebody goes, hey, you know what? Why don't you just come to the Himalayan mountains? Why don't you just do this for us? Or why don't you like open your own center? And the joy, you know, and this is a very, very awful thing that you sometimes maybe don't see it or want to know. It's like you've known it all along that it could have just been done in like December 2021. You could have just done it now. But something inside you felt not quite strong enough, not quite good enough, not quite knowledgeable enough, not quite sure. And that's sexy. That's really, really good. That's really, really nice. So this is really nice for other people. When we understand your expertise partially is dependent on you being uncomfortable unless you really know. That's really cool. It's like you're not really a teacher until you master yourself. That's really hot. That's why you're like the guy for everybody basically this year. And the next, so this is the thing, like Sag, you don't have to do this like a lot, but maybe like count your chickens, think about it, like really have a lot more respect for yourself. And maybe it is not sure yet, maybe it's not all cooked, it's not all there, maybe you're right for not wanting to show every single feather that you've got in your little fam. You don't want anybody to know about what you are going through. Maybe you don't want anyone to understand how you're really processing your life. Maybe it's a secrecy that is keeping that in balance with your normal exterior and your normal everyday world and your normal everyday words, because underneath there are other people that you still haven't been who want to come out and show off a little bit, but they can't do it right now until they know it. So until you get the black belt for karate, you won't tell anybody that you've done it. Until you have got a very big gallery wanting your pieces, you probably will never tell your mom, you know. Until you've got it, until you have it, until you've done it, until you've seen it, until you know that you're masterful at it, you probably will not disclose it, which is a gorgeous thing, opportunity for us to learn, because a lot of people like Virgo or Libra is like, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm here, I'm doing it. They're not doing it because they don't know what they're doing. So they're not there yet. So secret study, a secret focus group, a very heartfelt secret society, how about that, connection, and all that stuff that is very, very nurtured and innocent within, that nobody gets to touch until it's time, is a very, very healing opportunity for you. Secrecy, investment in things that nobody knows about, having things on the slow cooker, and the kind of ether, not even knowing how you're going to do it yet, not caring about it too much, not telling anybody, not spilling any beans, and not telling anybody what to do as well, and being very, very sacred within your own space may help you manifest. Oh my god, like how much money do you want? Like seriously, it may make really incredible, big time changes in your wallet, or big time changes in your world. It's just important that you know it now, that it is something very, very secretive. So it's like the power of hobbies. Sometimes it's not actually a hobby, it's a way of the universe. It's very, very great for you to be here, you know, in your own heart, or to be here with your own friends and smile along and do your thing, but also start cooking something very, very big and mysterious. And that sometimes is very, very scary for other people to look into your eyes and understand, like you are cooking up something that nobody knows exists. So when we have December's end, you know, 2022, and we go into rabbit, of course, there's not going to be that much else that you dream of. But that real thing, it's like a flower that comes out of your crown chakra, and that only maybe made sense to you for a really long time. It's just important that you don't spill the beans, and that you don't make anybody important in your life beyond this very interesting thing that you're doing. If you are so curious about study or religion or education or anybody in your life, if you really like, wow, like really interested, you don't need to tell anybody about it. It's just that you have to prepare yourself to maybe one day believe yourself to be this thing. You know, so for example, you really love plants. You know, maybe one day you'll have the biggest garden ever. Maybe you really love people, and maybe one day you will have a lot of people come to your door. So there is something really, really, really cultured and changeable and kind of moody and kind of like, it's like a weather pattern within yourself. It's almost like Zeus, you know? Zeus inside, the Zeus inside. And it has to maybe change with nature as well. So it can't just be there static, it can't be there stagnant. It's like an inner glow, it's almost like an inner voyage that no other person really fully knows, understands, or respects until it's here. And we slowly get to see it. We slowly get to meet you as that other guy or the other woman. We slowly understand what it is that you've been carrying and crafting inside your being, and how much time you've spent knowing yourself and feeling out and like mastering other things in your life, other people, other jobs, other things, to be able to really produce that one thing that could be a huge act of mastery, or at least an improvement on who you already are. So thank you very much, Sag. If you want, you can have a look at my book for 2022. It's called 2022 Year of the Water Tiger. It is the same as Polina's almanacs. This is the 5th book, predictive book I've produced. So basically I talk about the year, I talk about the month, I talk about the different signs for every month, and then I talk about the different alignments like conjunctions and trines and everything like that. So every week I do a prediction for the week, what it means, why and how come, what are the different celestial bodies doing in the sky, and what it means to be here. So you kind of see through the book the progression of the year. So if you're curious, the colored version is digital and the physical version is black and white. So it's your choice which one you want. In the physical version, you get to scribble and use the other page for your notes if you like to scribble. So it's like a planner as well. So you get the day by day week. If you want, but if you are more environmentally conscious and you like the illustrations, maybe it's better to get the digital copy because it's more colorful and it has my drawings in it. If you like me, you might like my art. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Have a look in the caption section below. There's lots of information about me. And let me know if you'd like a reading, or if you would just like to visit my site, you could do that incognito. Thank you very much, enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.